The process itself is called Re2Ox. The reason it's called 2Ox is because there's two actual processing stage in it. The first one is basically for EV metals, and the second part is for precious metals.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Frank Bassa. He is the CEO of Koniagis Battery Metals. And Frank, great to see you again. How are you?
I'm good, and thanks a lot, Steve. Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity to sort of discuss sort of what the company's been up to the last couple of news releases, where you talked about gaining some feedstock, and this is really about sort of a process that you've put together that you think will be sort of a strong one in the electric vehicle market. So maybe explain the processing to us first.
Yeah, actually, the process itself is called Re2Ox. The reason it's called 2Ox is because there's two actual processing stage in it. The first one is basically for EV metals, and the second part is for precious metals. Now, this process was actually developed over a six-year time frame. About $8 million was spent on it. So it went from lab scale to pilot plants and plant scale testing. And just recently, we did produce, using very high arsenic material, a cobalt sulfate for Sumitomo in Japan. So it does work. We do use the people at SGS, so we use kind of what we call the top shelf people do the work for us. So this has been going on. Actually, this news release that we put out this week was actually based on materials been offered us since 2017. Now, a lot of this material actually has no home. There's no place to send it. Our process, being a hydrometallurgical process, can take this. It's a zero discharge process, and it can take the material from what they call the informals. So most people are not aware of it, but about 70% of the cobalt comes out of DRC globally. So more than likely, if you're driving an electric vehicle, more than likely the cobalt in that battery probably came from the DRC. In addition to that, about 30% of the cobalt that comes out of there is done by the informals. That is actually recorded. It could be more than that. But the informers are people that are basically mining by hand on the land, and they actually hand cob this stuff. Now, the reason the smelters can't take it, there's no sulfur in it. The sulfur in the ore is actually required for the smelters. It's an energy unit. So a lot of this material is sitting around actually in warehouses. You know, we were offered between 200 to 500 tons a month of this oxide cobalt material. Now, it doesn't go anywhere because nobody can take it. It was my understanding. So we said, look, you know what? We'll do it on a toll basis. We don't buy it. And we're interested in doing something about that. They actually came here to Toronto earlier this year, and they invited us to be out there in September. So we'll see. We have to get our visas. It's not a simple thing as getting a plane and going there. So we were invited to meet with the people and see if we can make some sort of arrangement. We offered to treat the material, but we also offered and told them that the material more than likely will be treated here in Quebec. In Quebec, we're working with Invest Quebec. They actually got a site for us already, and they also got the power allocated for the plant. So it's either going to send up here or the Europeans, which is actually Swiss Germans. We met with them in Europe. They also are interested in financing a plant of this capability in there. So we still have to decide, but it comes to this: if they have the feed and if they want to toll it, we'll do it for them.
Yeah, Frank, are you looking at this as a new revenue source for the company as well?
It's actually kind of very generous revenue. For the company. It's zero risk. You know, like when you're tolling, it's just, you know, we're not buying anything. See, the biggest difficulty here in a lot of these people who buy this material, also black mass, is the price fluctuates. You know, cobalt could go down, nickel is up, but you know, prices go all over the place. You have no control of it. So if you buy it and you know you ship it here, it might take a few weeks, a few months before it gets to be processed into cobalt sulfate. The price could change drastically, and basically, you know, you can lose money on it. So it's a very simple thing. We used to do this when I worked for another company. We told everything, and of course, made more money treating other people's material than we did treating our own material. We're still going to go ahead with our drill program at Graal. I think it's something very significant there. And basically, you would have to have your own source of feed to kind of make sure that you have feed for this leach planting. Because right now there are no facilities in the province of Quebec should you produce a sulfide concentrate or anywhere available as far as we know. So basically, it'd be nice to have a facility right here in the province of Quebec where power is cheap and Investment Quebec is very supportive of your ability to go into production.
Yeah, and it sounds the way you're describing it, Frank, is there's really no shortage of product as well. It sounds like there's quite a bit that's there and ready to be told or
Well,
tilled.
yeah, see, a lot of people don't understand there is a shortage of cobalt, but you got to
Right.
ask them what kind of cobalt. So basically, there's a shortage of what they call cobalt that concentrate that have sulfides in it. That is a shortage because all the smelters need, and that's the smelters need the sulfur. But oxide material, there's a lot of it. It's everywhere.
There, there you go. And you want to be a part of it. Frank, thanks so much. Good to check in with you and see where you're updated. We look forward to following them more in this story. It's very interesting.
Thanks a lot, Steve, and have a wonderful day.
You as well. Frank Basso, the CEO of Koniengas Battery Metals.